just so that we have a better listening experience. This is a really small group, and we always encourage you guys, it's actually getting bigger. I see people are popping on. So we encourage you guys to um, raise your hands. If you guys don't know how to do that, in the very top of Teams, there is a smiley face with a hand. That's how you raise your hand. But also feel free to write questions in the chat. Curtis usually monitors that chat for us, and we'll definitely get to it. And we're very excited for this week's Coaching to Confidence, you guys. I love LinkedIn, and I think it's such a good program for realtors to use. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get us over to my PowerPoint so we can get started on it. First off, by a show of virtual hands in the chat, could everybody put a 1 in the chat for me if you have a business LinkedIn page that you've already put on there that you are a realtor at Coldwell Banker? You don't get a point if you haven't put on your LinkedIn page you're part of Coldwell Banker. And I'm going to pull up the chat on my phone so I can stay up to date on this, but just drop a 1 in there for us if you got that going. Curtis, does yours say that? Good. Yes, Curtis's, Allison, Monique, Paul. Perfect, you guys. Okay, so if you haven't gone into your LinkedIn profile or created one, really encourage you guys to do this. This isn't a 101 class, so this is really going to help you guys figure out how to leverage that LinkedIn. And Leah Scott and I are going to go through some really great ways to get going for you on it. So really, when we talk about LinkedIn, it technically is still bucketed as a social media app. Although if you've heard me speak, you know I don't necessarily say that LinkedIn is the same as social media. We tend to think of Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat as social media, but LinkedIn technically is in it. But I really want to focus on 3 big reasons to leverage LinkedIn for your business. And I know all 3 of these are things each one of you guys ask me about all the time and how you can better utilize. So the first that we're going to go over is get better leads. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can actually get leads from LinkedIn that go directly to you. You can also hyper focus your lead generation based on jobs, based on income, things like that. You can cut through the noise faster through LinkedIn. And I'm going to go through what I mean by that, but your posts on LinkedIn are actually going to generate more of a punch than they might on Facebook or Instagram, depending on what they are. So we're going to go through that. And then it's also professionalism at its peak, right? Everybody and their mother quite literally has a Facebook. And so you've got people utilizing Facebook and Instagram for anything and everything under the sun. I mean, my goodness, some people get paid $10,000 per Instagram post just because they're an influencer. I really wish that was my job. So if you guys know how I can become an Instagram influencer, please let me know. We've also got people on Facebook who are just there to like everything and never engage. So sometimes it can be really exhausting and frustrating as real estate professionals to generate that activity on those 2 social platforms. LinkedIn helps you cut through that faster and also helps you generate more professional notice, right? Which at the end of the day, we're all professionals. We're all trying to run our business, which is why I think LinkedIn is such a great spot for that. So let's talk about getting better leads, because again, 80% of your business, as you guys heard us talk about in our 80-20 rule Coaching to Confidence 2 weeks ago, 80% of your business should come from your sphere. People that know you, like you, trust you. 20% of your business should come from outside your sphere. Sources like lead gen through LinkedIn, right? Open houses, farming is a big thing that I'm a huge fan of, as is Liam. We train on that a lot. But you can actually, through LinkedIn, tap into both the 80% and the 20%, right? You can connect with your sphere on a more professional level. Somebody just got a job promotion. That means they're making more money. Maybe they're ready to buy a property instead of rent, right? So that's one way to connect with your sphere. But then also you can start to source leads from outside of your sphere in first, second, and third, like I guess degrees away from yourself is always the way to joke. So if you've played around in LinkedIn, you've probably been asked, do you want to upgrade to the Sales Navigator? Do you want to upgrade to Pro? So I'm here to tell you guys, I think LinkedIn Pro for realtors is incredibly important and a really good way to get that lead. I actually put a screenshot up here so you guys can see what I mean by that. But when you say, yeah, I want to go Pro, and by the way, you get a free month trial. I am on my free month trial right now. So always just put in a couple days before the end of the trial, put a calendar note for yourself because it will auto renew. But that way you can really look back and see, okay, so for this 1 month trial, did I really utilize LinkedIn Pro and did it work for me? And we're going to talk with you about how to make it work for you. But when you go pro, you'll see it's asking you to start one of two plans. You can either focus on the business plan, which is to grow and nurture your network, or you focus on the sales navigator professional, and it'll actually ask you a few questions to fill out, like what are you trying to accomplish with pro? And I filled out what a realtor would fill out, so most likely what you guys would pick. And it's recommending me here to do the sales navigator professional. The first thing on there is find leads and accounts in your target market, right? Get real-time insights for warm outreach. Build trusted relationships with customers and prospects. Like, this is a huge lead generation tool for you guys. I think that pro is $79 a month, right? And I'm on my free trial, so just test it out on here. But you can really target, you get 5 to 10 in mails per month, meaning I can direct message a third person away from me who maybe I don't really have any connection with, but I can actually solicit that lead in real time rather than waiting for them to solicit me first. Okay. And I'm able to then connect on that professional and personal level. It's all going to be in about what you put in that InMail to them that's going to connect them back to you. So these are some of the features for the sales navigators, and I kind of highlighted the ones that I think I like the most. So you'll see that I love that you're in the driver's seat to reach out and start the connection with leads. You're not passively waiting for someone to respond to a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad. Now, we're huge fans of those ads, right? We've run trainings on them. Leah runs trainings on them. Facebook and Instagram ads are great. But we're talking about also how to leverage the fact that on LinkedIn Pro and LinkedIn for your business, you can be proactive in some of those reach outs. And regardless if you go pro or not, you can still be proactive. And anyone that's a first connection, meaning you follow them and they follow you on LinkedIn, you can always send them a message, whether you're pro or not. So you're able to send those really meaningful reach outs to try and get that business. Oh, it's actually $64.99 a month. I misspoke earlier. I like the who's viewed your profile. I think that's so powerful. So let's say I send a message to Joe Schmo, who's 3 people apart from me. We're not connected. He's a lead. I'm trying to solicit him. I can actually see if he's gone and been like, I'm not going to respond to Rachel yet. I'm going to creep on her page first and see if she's worth responding to. So I can actually see, are they going to my page to see who I am, learn more about me? I'm able to see that. And that gives me a warm reach out again, a second time, right? Be like, hey, Joe, don't know if you missed this, but I just wanted to say that I am your local real estate professional. I see you work at XYZ company that's in the West Loop, which is right in my market area. I'm not sure if you're renting or if you own, but I'd love the opportunity to service you for your real estate needs. Something like that to reach back out to them. And then one of the things I'm going to actually jump in and show you guys too is the custom lead and account lists. So you're actually able to identify the leads that you want to solicit through search filters. So you can literally say, I want to search for people that work at McDonald's, Abbott, Amazon, that are at the C level, CEO, CFO, CMO. You can get that in the weeds with it and really hyper focus. So if you're an agent who wants to niche in something, let's say you want to niche in luxury, well, look for leads that are going to be buying in that luxury market. And a lot of those are the C level, CMO, CFO, CEO, et cetera. If you're someone I really want to niche in first time buyers and condos, maybe you look at, mid-level employees and newer managers in a company who might be ready to take that leap from renting to buying, and they work at McDonald's campus and they probably want to be near there. And how can you help them be that resource? So that's one thing I really like about this. And I don't know if anybody is already pro, if you want to drop a 2 in the chat, I'd love to see if anybody else is trying it. I know when things cost money, especially when they're reoccurring, myself included, I'm like, maybe, I don't know. That's why I think doing the 1 month free trial is going to be really key for you guys to see how you can do this. Also, those online video courses, right? Coaching to Confidence is all about helping you build your sales and business skills through effective education, coaching, and support. And one of those things is watching videos, both, yes, from us, our education department, our marketing department, coming to Coaching to Confidence, but it's also nice to sometimes see things outside of the company, hear from professionals in other industries. It's really motivating and it can help you really leverage pro in the best way. So this is what a snapshot, and I didn't see anybody put 2 in the comments. So my guess would be that nobody's doing pro yet. So when you do pro, right, you can actually set those filters to find leads. And when we talk about leveraging LinkedIn for your business, this is hugely powerful to be able to search for connections, first, second, third degree connections, and really see who might be someone you should reach out to. It's basically like a CRM, but in LinkedIn. And until you have someone's email, that's where you're going to live. Once you get their email, once you get their contact information, then you're going to drop them into InTouch, right? Then you're going to drop them into Clients for Life so that you can get connected with you and maybe even a drip campaign in other ways. But you can get down into the nitty gritty and you can work your inbox, really see who's replying to the messages you're sending, who, you know, maybe send a couple different messages to a couple different people and see what gets the most responses. But you'll notice, like, I can look for geography. I can pick by schools. Like, do I want to focus on my alma mater? Right? Do I want to focus on Loyola University? People have gone there because that's already a connection that I can reference to them. You know, I can say in the relationship, I did first degree connections, and second degree, meaning they're 1 or 2 people removed from me, which means we already have somebody, if not multiple people, in common on LinkedIn, which is another way to connect with individuals. You can search by industry. It just really gives you the opportunity to dive deep and make a successful connection. And again, like I mentioned, I actually bolded this and color coded it in gray and white. But once you get that email, it's so important to put them in that InTouch and Clients for Life, because then you're touching them more often, right? They're going to get your newsletter. They're going to get the Clients for Life event email that comes out every month. And really just, even if you don't convert them in that second, right, on LinkedIn, you're going to have a higher chance of converting them in those other 2 profiles as well. I thought I saw a question in the chat, so I want to do that, but I don't see any questions, so I'm going to keep going through it. But cutting through the noise is something that I hear a lot of with you guys from Facebook and Instagram, right? Well, I did this post, I'm following the 80-20 rule, but I only got 1 like, and my other post got 20. It makes no sense to me. Listen, we still have to post on social media. You still got to do that on Facebook and Instagram, and you're probably not ever going to get as much traction on Facebook as you do on Instagram, but LinkedIn is a little bit different because unlike the other social media channels, it is hyper focused on professionals. When you log into LinkedIn, you're logging specifically in that professional mindset, right? If you're not a realtor, usually you're looking to see, is there a new job I can apply for? Right? Is there somebody I can connect with that's going to help me with my career? And is there someone whose professional services I can hire and take advantage of? I love LinkedIn for that purpose because unlike Facebook and social and Instagram, sometimes I go on, you know, Facebook and Instagram and I'm doing it specifically to find your guys' posts, to like them, to engage. Other times I'm literally just scrolling through for no reason, hearting things for no reason, and I'm not focused on anything. So if I see an ad or I see someone offering professional services, if I'm not in the zone, I'm moving past it. Whereas LinkedIn, someone is always in that professional mindset when they're on LinkedIn. They're always looking for either someone to offer them something or themselves to offer something. So I like that. You're also not competing with as many posts, right? You don't scroll through LinkedIn the same way you scroll through those social channels. So when someone interacts with your post and clicks like or leaves a comment, chances are they've actually read what you're posting. They've clicked on whatever article you shared because it's professional. And when other people see that it's been liked, they're going to say, oh, so-and-so liked it. That's interesting. That's a connection of mine. I'm going to keep in it. So think about that. The other thing that I really love is it's like a matchmaking site for your business. Like I said earlier, most people go on LinkedIn because they're either sourcing new employment or they are trying to highlight their employment, right? And get more people to like them so they can get a raise or whatever it might be. They're in that mindset of growth. And a lot of times it's an easier win. Like, are you renting? Stop paying someone else's mortgage, you know, and pay your own. So that's something that I think is really key about that. Also, same as the other social media platforms, using those hashtags and tagging individuals and businesses is going to be the number one way to get that content to reach a broader audience. So those skills you guys have already learned for Facebook and Instagram still apply for LinkedIn as well. And then Leah and I are actually going to show you guys some BrandServe templates, because I know it's like crazy to try to source your own images, figure out what you want to post. And one of the things I love about our BrandServe, right, especially on LinkedIn, is those are pre-designed, pre-templated, and highly professional pieces for you to share on a highly professional platform. That is so important. Everything from the hashtag CB Good News, small business shout outs. I love the small business shout outs, and I promise you that the small businesses do too, right? That's a way to connect to your community, to make those inroads with other local businesses in your neighborhood. And I've never heard anybody say, ugh, I hate anyone that supports a small business, right? So it's just a way to be more relatable while also being professional. The other thing that I love is that outgoing referral campaign. You guys are all part of the largest national brokerage. That's hugely powerful. And I don't know about you guys, but I have networks in Michigan where I was born, and I have networks in Philly where I lived a few years. And it's really silly not to take advantage of those networks. Just because I'm not licensed in those areas doesn't mean that I can't service those clients. And that's something that you guys all have to think about, right? If you went to school in a different state, if you have networks that aren't just Illinois, you can still be their number one real estate resource by connecting them with the perfect realtor for them on the other side, and get that referral fee, right? I did that with a CB in Denver. I had a friend here whose brother was looking to buy in Denver, referred him to a Coldwell Banker agent there. I got 35% referral for sending an email. And I knew with full confidence that the realtor on the other side was offering that client the same thing I would offer, because we're at the same company. So just remember that it's wasted money. It's money on the table if you don't also connect with your resources outside of the state of Illinois. I also love the open houses on here. And I actually have a quote from another Coldwell Banker agent that was interviewed for one of the articles I found about how she leverages this for open houses. So I'm going to show you guys a few examples I built out, but then I'm also going to have Leah actually live build out an example for you guys to show you how easy it is and different ways to like maneuver BrandServe to make sure that you're getting the best content for LinkedIn. But these are some things I built literally on Saturday in the middle of a snowstorm in my dining room while I was working on this for you guys. It's just some quick examples. The one on the bottom right is an open house one. So I actually got to customize that, drop that one in there, have it in there for you guys. But I don't know if you guys knew this, but for the 4th year in the row, we have won the Women's Choice Award. That's huge. And I actually shared this on my LinkedIn, and I've gotten a lot of great responses from it. We also have that quotable that people that sell with us are getting 13.7% higher sale prices than when they list with a competitor. Remember, LinkedIn is professional. Nothing says I'm going to make you more money, right? Better than that quotable right there. And then being able to put your copy above it and be able to say, this is why you should work with me to sell your property. If you're interested to see your property's value in today's Chicago market, reach out to me today. And that's it. Add a few hashtags, make it that simple for you guys. I also wanted to show you guys one other thing. I did the small business shout out. So I'm personally shouting out to all of you guys. Gather, which is in Lincoln Square. My brother is actually the sous chef at Gather. A huge fan of them. They are doing really awesome takeout, right? Curbside pickup, and they actually are starting indoor dining next week. They're very safe. I love them so much. And all I did for this was I sourced their photo through their Instagram, and I pulled a quote from their website. And that's what I dropped it in there, and I literally built this in 2 seconds. And I haven't shared this on any of my social media yet because I was doing it really for you guys, but it's hugely powerful. You tag Gather, you tag Lincoln Square, you tag Chicago, you do all of that, and it's going to show up on all of their feed as well, which is awesome. And then I also don't know if you guys knew this, but BrandServe also has cover photos there. So this is home is actually a cover photo, and I updated my LinkedIn with this cover photo, which I really, really like. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second and turn it on over to Leah so that she can share her screen for us and show us how easy it is to build with BrandServe.
Thank you, Rachel. Okay, let me know if you can see my screen. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep, we can see it.
Okay, perfect. Sorry.
No, you're
Okay,
fine.
so BrandServe, just to reiterate, is your go-to for all of your digital assets. And if you are signed up for the BrandServe Digest, you do get via email the new assets that are added daily. Or you can log into your BrandServe and see the latest tactics, campaigns, and assets available. So tactics will be all the social media assets that you can utilize. The latest campaigns are our national campaigns, and then the latest brand assets are Real Sure, new trend videos, etc., etc. Okay, so I wanted to focus on the new award templates. I know that the award winners were announced today, so congratulations to those if there are any on the call. So this is a great template that you can share to LinkedIn because it is a great accomplishment. There are individual agent templates available and team templates available as well. So you'll select customize, and BrandServe is mobile friendly. So if you are out in the field on your cell phone, mycvdesk.com, go into the BrandServe tab or app and create your asset from there. Okay, so the customization name is just for your own record keeping. You do not have to add anything there. You choose your version, agent, or team, and you can upload your photo, your headshot photo, but I already have a few uploaded. And I'll go into one of those assets, but the BrandServe product owners are working to incorporate the sharing to social media option. So as soon as you create your asset, you can share directly to social media. In our market, we do not need a license, so always select no license number. And you have all of the awards. So you'll want to go ahead and select your award and logo. And for DBA, doing business as logo, you want to type in CBR for Coldwell Banker Realty, agree to the terms, and generate your proof.
And real quick, Leah, I just want to make sure that you guys know that DBA logo question is on every BrandServe template, and you guys are always going to want to do the CBR because we are Coldwell Banker Realty. There's a lot of options in there, so just make sure you always click into that.
Yes. So once your proof is available, you will see the low resolution preview. No worries there. You want to select view proof. And you'll see your customization options in pink. No edits needed, so you'll go ahead and download. And this, of course, is of no charge to you. It may look a little misleading, and I just got logged out. Sorry.
So yeah, and that actually answers a good question in the chat. Is there a cost? There is no cost. The reason why it's called like putting it into the cart is because you can actually build like 6 or 7 assets all in one and then check out all 6 of those assets at the same time rather than having to keep going back and forth. So that's why it's called the cart.
That is correct. So
Miss Leah, the only thing that you can manipulate is the pink text.
Yes, for that asset, your customization options are highlighted in pink. And then once you download, that pink goes away. So the asset that I did just create when I got logged out, it did not save or download. So I do have one created already. And this is what the final asset looks like. So really quickly, I'll go into an asset to show you hopefully the soon to be future of BrandServe. You'll go into social media, go into posts, and that's that sharing to social media feature. So right now that asset is only available on the 2019 market share. So no customization options here. You'll select order now. Continue. Place order. And you'll see here, instead of that get file now to download, you'll have the option to publish to social. And I do not remember my Facebook password to fully go through that process. So this is the future of BrandServe. So Facebook right now, and more social platforms coming soon. Any questions about that? Or is there an asset that you'd like me to go into?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So for the one that you just populated, but you said it didn't hold it and it disappeared when you got kicked out, that one
Yeah.
doesn't have the add to social, right?
No.
So how would you get that on social?
You'll just download it and upload it as a regular photo.
So it saves it as like a JPEG, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So here,
I guess I don't know how to do it from the, after getting it downloaded, I don't know how to get it onto like, out of a JPEG, you can't put that onto Facebook, can you?
Oh, it'll come as a PNG and a JPEG, and those you can put on there. PDFs you can't put on social media, but JPEGs you can. That's just a photo.
yeah, so you'll
Oh,
add
okay.
this just like a regular image to LinkedIn.
And I can actually, I can do that live and show you, because so I actually love that these don't share automatically necessarily to social media, because Instagram doesn't work on your computer, right? So I
Right.
actually love having these being in my inbox, in my Outlook. That way I can have them on my phone, I can have my desktop, and I pre-build a lot of my posts, to be honest, because, and I would encourage a lot of you guys to do that too. One of the things we hear is, well, I'm too busy to post every single day. It's like, that's why in my drafts, I probably have between 10 and 12 Instagram and Facebook posts drafted at any given time. So that way I can just I have nothing interesting happening in my life today. Let me share one of these 10 or 12 drafts. So I actually love it. And I have a file on my desktop that's literally for BrandServe assets that I've already built out. So one of the things, especially when we talk about supporting the local business shout out or open house ones, being able to draft those in advance. And then when you're having a day where you have nothing else to post, or it is your day that you want to pitch local businesses, that's where you post it. It's really nice to kind of have those built up in a folder on your desktop or on your phone. You can save it as a photo as well. Does that make sense, Susie?
Yes, thanks.
Perfect. Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Leah, for kind of showing how easy that is, truly.
Very easy, very easy.
And I put in the chat, I look at BrandServe like our Coldwell Banker version of Canva, right? So a lot of you guys know Canva, and I'm a big Canva fan, right? I love Canva. But what sucks is Canva's not branded to Coldwell Banker, right? And that's what BrandServe is. So it's all pre-done branded assets. And especially when we talk about LinkedIn, and I'm going to go back into our PowerPoint, especially when we talk about LinkedIn, where we are attracting professionals, right? So the engagement we're looking for is a little bit different than like this fuzzy cat video, and engage with me here. I'm really trying on LinkedIn to show that I am the realtor you should use. The things I'm putting on LinkedIn are meant to be relatable, sure, but professional, because again, that's the mindset that consumers are in when they go to LinkedIn. So I actually put one. So remember how I told you guys I posted this asset in there, which was awesome. And then I wrote my copy. And I really want to highlight to you guys the importance of tagging, leveraging the templates, and then also hashtags, right? So this is my post that I posted literally on Saturday while I was building these out. But you notice I used a lot of hashtags. I always, in every single thing I post on social media, I include hashtag real estate, realtors, realtor, realtor life, real estate life, all of that stuff. But I also tagged in Coldwell Banker. because this is an award for Coldwell Banker. I also tagged Women Certified Women's Choice Award so that they would receive that notification on their end that Rachel Scheid, the Vice President of Agent Development for the City Central offices, shared this post and tagged them in it, which is awesome. I also selfishly noticed that Coldwell Banker nationally posted this after I posted it. So that makes me feel a little special too, because they saw that one of their people had posted it and then they realized that this is something we got to put on as well. So it's a really great way for you guys to, again, people search on LinkedIn based on tags as well, but tagging tags and hashtags, tagging in and supporting the businesses, tagging in names is hugely powerful because it will give them the alert that they've been tagged. Also, if someone was reading this and goes, I don't really know what the Women's Choice Awards are, they can click that tag that I did and then go learn more about the Women's Choice Awards and also follow them. So it's a really powerful tool to be able to kind of use that. Okay, so then speaking to that third value, that professionalism, okay? So we've been talking a lot about how when people log into LinkedIn, they are in business mode. They're looking to connect with you. So while I was doing this, I actually came across a great article on The Close, which I did put here and I can put it in the chat for you guys. But actually 2 of our Coldwell Banker agents nationally and 1 in Chicagoland were quoted in this. And I wanted to put these up here because a couple things that they really mentioned in here, I want you guys to think about. So Kathleen, who's Kathleen Callan, she's the top agent. She usually uses Facebook and LinkedIn to promote her real estate business, and some of her bigger deals have come because of her presence on LinkedIn. For a while, she was doing a Friday post called Real Estate Thoughts on Friday to stay more engaged with her audience, and she closed a deal over $1 million with somebody that reached out to her from it. So she also tries to share mortgage information or any market trends to keep the content focused more on the business side of things. So that's a really important quote, and I wanted to put it up there because like anything in this business, it does take time. You've got to be consistent, right? And you've got to have posts that people want to read. But I know that a lot of the things we hear, like, well, I post all these business things on Facebook and nobody interacts with that the way they do of me and my cat, right? They all love that content more. LinkedIn is really that resource for you to highlight your professionalism, for you to highlight your real estate business, why someone should use you and what you have to offer. So I put in the chat, but RealSure and RealVitalize, we have digital assets on BrandServe for those. Those are 2 huge products that each and every one of you guys should be sharing on LinkedIn of why this is such a pro for anyone looking to sell their property. You can literally come to that listing appointment with a bona fide offer, bona fide cash offer for that seller. You're going to help that seller get their property to be ready for the buyers of today by helping them fix up their property at no money down, no upfront cost, no interest fee for them. I mean, that's hugely powerful. And I know if I was a seller, I would use RealVitalize all day, even to have it just professionally cleaned, right? So it looks way better when someone comes through. The other one I really liked was this idea of open houses. So a Coldwell Banker agent named Jasmine Ransom, she's not from Chicagoland. I'm not sure where she nationally is, but she uses LinkedIn for open houses and other events that she either co-hosts with her loan officer or she's doing as client appreciation events or whatever it might be. And so when she gets a listing on the market and has an open house coming up, she uses Open Home Pro, which is a third-party app, but she can actually create a property-specific open house page and share it on LinkedIn. And that gets her more engagement. That's going to get her more people coming through that open house, more people linking up with her on LinkedIn to learn more and maybe set up a private showing for themselves on LinkedIn. So I think you still obviously put them on Instagram and obviously put them on Facebook. But again, the mindset of individuals when they log into LinkedIn is business. So if someone, it does have on their mind that they're looking to buy or sell property and they see something on LinkedIn while they're in that business mindset, they're more likely to engage and reach out to you. So I really like that she does it on there. And again, if you're co-hosting that with maybe one of our loan officers with GRA, Robin Barron or Doug, you can tag them in it as well and really get that cross section of people that you might not have gotten to before because they were third or second degrees away from you. The other thing I really like about LinkedIn is highlighting your professional accomplishments is better received, right? People are going to engage in that more, be more complimentary, be more likely to leave a response. So Leah showed us how to build out if you're winning an awards level this year. And if you're not, if you're newer and you're like, I haven't done that yet, now you know what you can aspire to. Getting into that International Diamond Society, getting into President's Club one day. These are huge awards nominating that we give our agents based on their sales production of the previous year. And it's a good way to network with other agents across the country. And again, everyone loves a professional accomplishment on LinkedIn. So that's always something great. That's why, especially if you guys haven't put on your LinkedIn page that you are an agent with Coldwell Banker, that is like your homework for today. And make sure it shares to your feed, which it will, and you will start to see that some of the people you've connected with on LinkedIn, they're going to respond to that. They're going to be excited for you that you're now an agent with Coldwell Banker Realty. So make sure you guys go in and do that today. That's your homework. The other thing that's really important, and we talk about this a lot when we talk about social media profiles, and this is something that Leah and I can certainly help you guys with, is you want to make sure that when someone does come to your LinkedIn page, it is built out, right? It doesn't have empty spaces. You want to make sure that your bio is on there. You want to make sure you're highlighting whatever professional affiliations you have. You guys are all members of CAR, the Chicago Association of Realtors. You're members of Illinois Realtors. You're members of National Association of Realtors. So I gave you 3 professional associations right off the bat. You can highlight you're a part of. All of your volunteer experience, make sure that you connect with your alumni network. Especially. So if you guys are alumni of any university or college, you want to connect with them. You want to make sure that that's in your profile. A lot of the research I did really highlighted to LinkedIn. People love to connect when they have a shared interest, when they have something in common. So a lot of people do look for alumni of their school for everything. I need a banker, I'm going to look at my alumni network. I need a realtor, I'm going to look at my alumni network. Volunteering is also huge. So if you go onto my profile, you'll see I have a lot of stuff with Habitat for Humanity. That's a big thing I volunteer with. I sit on a board for them. So I make sure to highlight that. And every time that you add a professional affiliation or commitments or past experience, volunteer, school, work, you're also able to add a mini bio into that to really describe what it is you did with that association, what's your why do you volunteer, why do you give back to that? Again, the more robust you can build out your profile, the more likely someone is going to be to engage, right? The number one thing everybody does is Google someone, right? And if someone comes across my lead, right? If I have a lead on LinkedIn and I sent them an inbox message, I would bet you any money the first thing they're going to do before responding to that message is click on my profile and see if I'm someone they deem worth responding to. Because I do the same thing. People ask to connect with me on LinkedIn all the time, and they'll often send a message, and I will never respond to that message until I look at their profile first. Because I want to have that connection. I want to see, is this somebody that I could use in my professional network? Do I want to respond and engage them in services? So if that's your goal, to get people to, I'm going to go visit Paul's LinkedIn and I want something on his LinkedIn to spark my interest, he better make sure that his entire LinkedIn page is built out to the nines. The other thing is, when we talk about testimonials, all those other places, we had our reviews, Coaching to Confidence. I think last month, Leah, we had that. We talked about how to ask for reviews and where to get them. Testimonials on LinkedIn are incredibly powerful as well. And you don't just have to wait for a client. All of you guys should be tapping into your sphere, tapping into Curtis, myself, Nakia. Ask us to leave you a testimonial because it'll be professional focus, not necessarily, I'm not going to lie and say, Susie helped me buy a property, but I am going to be able to speak to Susie's professionalism with her clients and why she would be a great resource for anyone who's looking to buy, sell, rent, or invest in the Chicago land market. That's hugely powerful. And they're going to see then, Rachel, who's a connection of Susie, made this. Again, it's all about layering on those connections and layering on the individuals on there. So each one of you guys should definitely be focused on building that up. I was looking in the chat. I don't see any questions on here just yet, so I'm going to keep going. And oh, you'll notice I wanted to put that "this is home" in there. I forgot that on LinkedIn, your headshot is a little higher, so I'm probably going to pick one of the other ones where the "this is home" is on the right side and not the left side, so it's not covered, but it is really nice to get going in there. So, oh, go ahead.
I did post the question. I'm not sure if you saw it. How does one use LinkedIn and do all this wonderful stuff if they're really a part-time broker? Because, for example, I have my main job thugged out, so to speak, on LinkedIn. How do I add all of this in?
So I would think about what your purposes are, right? Is your long-term goal or short-term goal to be full-time in real estate? If the answer is yes, then you're not really leveraging LinkedIn to get a new job, right? You're not leveraging LinkedIn to find and source yourself another full-time job. You're really trying to pick up business. So I would say if you have another job and you're trying to leverage both, then post both things on there. But I would also argue that most jobs don't necessarily need you to source business, right? But real estate does. You have to source business on there. So if you're looking to eventually be that full-time realtor, you need to focus on more real estate posts for sure. That would be my recommendation, my opinion. So if you guys have done any of the other trainings with me, you know that we love analytics, right? Leah and I showed you, I think 2 weeks ago, how analytics on Clients for Life and InTouch can really help you make sphere calls that are more impactful. Well, LinkedIn analytics are a gold mine as well. So I just put an example of a post. I did this post like 5 months ago, if you read the fine print, but we did this awesome photo shoot and we were in Chicago Agent Magazine and there were some ads going around. So 5 months ago, I shared this and I put it on here, and you'll just see just from I had 27 reactions, but then the views. I had 284 people view, right, in the greater Chicago area. And then I could go through and it breaks down from you what type of people have liked me or seen this and reacted to it. And then also what other companies may have looked into this. And obviously, if you notice, there's a scroll key, so I only took a small snapshot of it. But analytics are going to be huge for you guys, especially if you're willing to test out LinkedIn Pro, right? For that month that you're doing the free trial, you should be posting every single day. You should be engaging with other people. You should be reaching out. You want to leverage that free month as much as you can, but also take a look at the analytics. See if what you're doing is working. I might have sent out 10, messages to potential leads. Am I checking to make sure that they're at least looking at my page? That at least has intrigued them. They saw my message, they read it. They might not have responded yet, but they went to look at my page, which means something in that message intrigued them enough to check me out, but they haven't replied yet, which creates a strategy for me on the next message I send out. So I think analytics are huge, and you guys are all out there trying to run businesses. And you don't open a coffee shop, right, without knowing what the analytics might be. Am I going to sell out of this product? What are people in this area drinking the most in coffee shops? And what are they eating the most? I need to have that. We have the luxury in real estate of not having that crazy overhead of owning a coffee shop and having product we need to move or we're losing money. You are the product, so to speak. You're going to be pitching out your ability as a salesperson, as a negotiator, as a marketing genius for someone who's looking for real estate help. So you definitely want to check those analytics and making sure you're getting the good responses on those. So I am done with the PowerPoint, but I wanted to see if there was any questions. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick. See if we have any questions right now, and then I'm going to actually go live into my LinkedIn and show you guys a few things that I'd love for you to make sure when you go in, you know where to go and you know what to kind of do with your and Monique already liked my post on LinkedIn. That means you were following along and poking around your own LinkedIn. I love to see that. Leah, you might be able to answer this question in the chat. So Maria Munoz asked, where's the CB cover of the skyline? Because again, that's a great one for all of your social media. So Leah, do you actually, I don't know if you're still in BrandServe. Do you want to share your screen and show us how to do that?
Sure.
Thank you. That's a great question, Maria. I love that.
So if you can see my screen now, all of the marketing assets, you'll click on that tab there. select social media, and it is separated by covers, posts, and stories. So you'll go ahead and select covers. Okay. And you have different options here, exterior, interior with photos, etc. The home Facebook cover photos, that's pets. We don't want that. So that would be city skyline. So make sure you read each tile, and then you'll click on that tile there. Okay, you can preview if you need to see it larger. So you do have different Chicago skyline options. But the one Rachel has, you'll select customize. You'll choose your platform. LinkedIn is not available on this one here, so you can choose Twitter or Facebook. Facebook may be a little bit larger.
The Facebook will fit on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you'll select Chicago 1, generate your proof. We do not need to view this proof, so we'll go ahead and add to cart. And we get ready for the download. And then you'll just upload that to LinkedIn. So once it's downloaded, it'll upload as such.
Super, super easy, you guys. And I love it. And I see Susie's in there. So I am very happy to kind of pop into BrandServe and show you a few things as well. But one of the things I do know, and I know we mentioned this, I'm actually going to share my screen real quick. This is like my file on my desktop, social media for Office, where I put all of my social media examples. So you'll notice I still have like the stuff from the Christmas. I actually love this dream home one, which I really encourage all of you guys to do. This is for your story, which is awesome to share on Facebook and Instagram as well, to be able to kind of this or that, and people can screenshot it and then they circle it, which is, I love it so much. But I will go into my BrandServe. And when you go through, I encourage all of you guys to just kind of go through without the intention of necessarily creating something right away, but play around with it. I mean, that's ultimately how I ended up building out the examples I gave you guys, but you can really go through and just pick on a few things. I'm going to go to social media and posts, which is again where Leah's been living a lot of the time. And you'll notice there's 6 or 7 pages, Leah, of options of templates for you guys to choose from.
Lots of pages.
Lots of pages, right? So everything from I love clients for life, which by the way, this is an awesome one to share out from there, especially when Clients for Life campaign is going on and you want people to win that gift card, right? Being able to put that on there and even if you didn't put your headshot, if you put a shot of what is being given that month, like a picture of a Home Depot gift card, and that's your copy. Do you want to win a $150 Home Depot gift card? DM me to register, or reach out to me to win. So you'll notice there's the CB Good News, and there's a lot of quotables. You're just going to kind of scroll through and find one that's going to work for you and what you want to do it. I love the CB Good News is a good one. I like this custom headline one as well. And if you notice, if you're newer to us, that's the one that Ayoub does on your social media to welcome you as an agent over to Coldwell Banker. So that's always in there. The Hometown Hero ones are also still up. But here's a good listing update one. So again, this is a good one for an open house, or hey, we made a price adjustment. And you can go in and actually customize these. I like this one the best because this has your listing agent info, right? And here's like the great news. Even if you're not, even if it's not your listing, if you're hosting an open house for another agent, all you have to do is ask them, hey, do I have your permission to market this on my social media? Yes, great, okay. And you go in here and you build one just the same. So it works really, really well and easy on it. And then again, I keep them templated in my folder there so that I can access them at any time, which is great. But I'm going to pop over to my LinkedIn real quick, so we have a few minutes left. And I kind of want to highlight to you guys. So when you go into LinkedIn, you're going to notice that like right off the bat, you have obviously your dashboard and your page, but your guys' homework again, besides adding Coldwell Banker to this, is really go and view your profile and be objective about it. Maybe ask a friend or somebody to go in and do an audit of what's already in your profile. Do you have a good cover photo? Is your headshot updated in there? Is, you know, your current job, like, right, mine is the Vice President of Agent Development, City Central at Coldwell Banker. I'm sure Nakia's is talking about being the brokerage manager there. You know, are you tagging where you live? And you can also see what profile sections do you want to add? Do you want to have some featured ones? Do you want to have featured articles or links or medias? Like one of the quotes we saw from one of our Coldwell Banker colleagues across the country, how she would focus on every Friday there was going to be a tip about real estate that's on there. So kind of go through and pay attention. Your about is where you're going to put your bio. And I always caution, especially if you guys have been in the business for a couple of months, put like a calendar reminder every quarter to review your bio, because I know for me, I always mention in my bio what part of the city I live in. So you'll see like originally a Michigan native. I moved to the Chicago area a decade ago before settling in Lincoln Square. If I move, I want to make sure I change that. My bio last year mentioned that I had a pet bunny rabbit, but I had to put him down. He got really sick and he died. So I had to take him out of that bio because that's not my life anymore. So make sure you review your bio every quarter or so to make sure that it's up to date and where you want it to be and it's correct in that. And then you can kind of go through and check in your dashboard and see how many people have viewed my profile, how many searches have you come in. I'm an all-star. Isn't that exciting? I didn't realize that they gave that award. You can also see your activity. So again, with analytics, this is so important. Check out your activity, go through and see. You can see what you've liked. You can see what you've posted as well. And you can go down. See, I already had or Coldwell Banker had 7 comments on this and had a lot of reactions to it. So that's always key. And then I want to scroll down and show you guys. You'll notice up here, I've tagged in Coldwell Banker and I tagged in my alma mater. I didn't mean to click on it. I apologize. When you scroll further down, that's where your experience comes in. And in each experience, you can actually add that bio section. So I really recommend you do that. Whether you'll notice in this one, I just copied and pasted the top part of my bio and put it in there, but you guys could also highlight your recent sales in that section, right? If you have sales to put in there, you can highlight stats of the office as well and kind of go through that. Then your education and then the volunteer experience. So I have sat on and do sit on several committees with Chicago Association of Realtors. You better believe that I give myself credit for that on LinkedIn and make sure that others can see that as well. And again, you can just be super robust with this and make those connections. Does anybody have any? Go ahead.
Leah said something about edit your LinkedIn URL. Are you saying like through Bitly and make it a vanity URL, or how do you mean?
So
No,
go ahead.
you can just edit your URL there. So sometimes it doesn't come as your full name. So you can add it as your full name or your team name or your business name for branding purposes.
And I actually have it pulled up because I actually didn't know that at a time and I was doing research for this. But you'll notice when you're on your me, the first thing in the upper right hand corner is edit public profile and URL. So you'll see that now I'm linkedin.com/Rachel-Scheid. Before I wasn't, I had like a bunch of numbers. So you can actually click on that and you can edit your personal URL here, right? And this is also where you can do some of your settings, right? So do I want anybody to post on things? What do I want for that? Like this is kind of where you go in for that settings, but you'll see how now a pencil appears and I could edit this to be something different. So I actually encourage, that's such a great point, Leah. Like I didn't realize that ahead of time and my URL like wasn't matching what my Facebook and Instagram URL was, and now it does. So that's a really good point. Does anybody else have any other questions for Leah, Curtis, or myself on how to leverage that LinkedIn profile? Elizabeth, I'm glad that you added to your bio in LinkedIn this morning. That's so she's ahead of homework and she didn't even know that she was going to bust it out.
And I know
Wondering if we answered Susie's question. Rachel, weren't you going to show us to build out an asset of that you did for open houses?
So Leah did show that a few times. Well, she showed at least how to do, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter what asset you're building out. It's all done the exact same way. You just pick what asset it is. 9 out of 10 times, you guys, for ease and efficiency, right? Living in production power, which is all about helping you sell more homes, make more money, and work more efficiently. Anytime I go to build in that asset, particularly with open houses, I already have that photo ready to upload into BrandServe. It just makes it so much faster to go and do that. So if you have one, whether it's your list, if it's your listing, you're already going to have those photos in Listing Concierge, right? That'll be super easy. If it's not your listing, again, just ask that listing agent, hey, do you mind sending me out a high-res photo of the front of the property? Or frankly, go on to MLS if they give you permission and download it from there. And that's what you're going to upload into the BrandServe. But as far as customizing BrandServe, it doesn't matter what template, what Leah just showed, it's all going to be the same process.
Yes, and for the open house, you can add up to 8 open houses to one template. So huge plus. And also, I think there was a question about adding PDFs to LinkedIn. I believe you can add PDFs to a LinkedIn post. So some agents want to add that. Look at Wealth. I believe that comes in a PDF from Global Luxury. You can add that if you choose to a LinkedIn post.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it does allow you to do that. Social media, Facebook and Instagram, no PDFs, but LinkedIn does. You can also write an article on LinkedIn, which I think is really cool. So if you guys were like, I don't really want to start a blog, but I like the idea of committing to writing something short and sweet every Friday, that's something you can do on LinkedIn as well. Nakia.
Hi there. Yes, you absolutely can update PDFs. One thing that I recommend, especially for my newer brokers and even the seasoned, is to leverage InfoSparks and the data on the areas that you want to use. Because again, you can upload those and share the link to the data.
And the MLS, like showing reports and things that come out weekly as well. Those are really, really key, which should pop up in all of your dashboards and get emailed out to you.
I'm curious, if we link and hyperlink out of LinkedIn, where would you want that link to lead people to? InTouch website, or where do you want it to go?
Yeah, I think to your CB website is always, I would always recommend sending people to your website because they're then learning more about you. They can sign up for searches on your website. Don't ever send them to a profile like your Zillow profile, right? Because you're sending them to Zillow where they're going to find hundreds of other agents to work with. So I think it's always good practice if you're sharing something from your page, right? Always link it to your InTouch CB website.
Hey, Rachel,
Yes.
I just went to my LinkedIn and I do have a bunch of numbers after my name. You said click on me and then do what?
So I'll show you guys right again because I'm still in that spot. So when you click on me, you're going to click view profile. And then in the upper right hand corner, it should say edit public profile and URL. And when you click that, it opens a new page because now you're in your settings section. And then that's where you can click on the little pencil and actually it'll open up the box. All that you can change is that last part, right? The linkedin.com/in/. You can't change that, but you can go ahead and do it in there. And then you save it, obviously, so that ends up being your URL for everything.
Is that maybe because you're a pro? Because I'm not seeing that.
It might be because I'm a pro. Do you know, Leah, if it's because you're a pro or not? I don't think it's limited to pro.
I don't have anything that says edit LinkedIn profile.
You should still then. So when you go to me, click
So you
on
go to settings. Okay.
Go to settings and privacy, and you should be able to do it from here as well.
And now you go. Now what did you do right here?
Hold on, I'll go back to LinkedIn.
Sorry.
Yes, you click view profile. That should pull up that edit URL option.
Yeah. Are you clicking view profile, Susie?
Let me go over there. Yeah. Oh. I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for. All right. So it's 3:02. So I want to give you guys time to go and do your homework. My other challenge is I really encourage each and every one of you guys to request to link up with Curtis, Nakia, and myself. And we promise to link up back. Leah, do you have a LinkedIn that people can connect with on?
I do, but it's set private.
She's like, it's private. Don't you guys do that. I need my life. But follow me and Nakia and Curtis for sure. And we will connect with you guys on LinkedIn and go through it. And if you guys need any help, please feel free to reach out to Leah, Curtis, Nakia, or myself for those one-on-one coaching sessions to kind of work with you guys on it. But again, LinkedIn is the professional platform. You're going to be able to really reach an audience in a very different way than other social media. So I really encourage you guys to make sure that this is right and tight. Put your LinkedIn profile in your email signature, right? That's something Leah can also help with. You want to make sure your email signature has hyperlinks to everything and anything that you guys could be doing. So with that, I don't see any more questions in the chat. So we're going to go ahead and round out the day. You guys have a safe, do people usually link with their spouse? Yeah, sure. Why not? Actually, don't even have my boyfriend as a LinkedIn, so I should probably do that. But yes, LinkedIn with Rebecca too. Look at Rebecca just sneaking into our training here. So LinkedIn with Rebecca Thompson on LinkedIn. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. You guys, thank you so much for today. Thank you, Leah. Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, Nakia. And stay safe. We'll see you guys later.